Now, earlier this year, I reviewed a couple of ninja movies, both starring Sho Kosugi, Revenge of the Ninja, Pray for Death. Now, I kind of decided that I kind of really like ninja movies, so maybe I should make a thing out of it. So I tossed around the idea of actually doing Ninja November. And it is November now. Well, I was kind of burnt out from October Horrorthon. I had one video that kind of spilled over from there. I didn't really get around to watching a bunch of ninja movies like I had planned on. Maybe next year we might have Ninja November. Who knows? Like I said, it's a guilty pleasure. I kind of enjoy ninja movies. Well, here's one that, while there is some guilt, there was no pleasure. Here's a ninja movie that I kind of regret watching. Beverly Hills Ninja. Beverly Hills Ninja is a movie from 1997. It is clearly a comedy starring the late Chris Farley. This tape was on my mic, apparently. If you want it back, it's all yours, dude. Yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja. This was Chris Farley's last movie, as a matter of fact, of which I don't think he actually did that many movies. He was, of course, on Saturday Night Live in the early to mid-90s. You know, around the same time as like David Spade. Adam Sandler was a collaborator with Chris Farley, and I never really found that guy that funny. He's the loud guy who just yells and screams and flops all over the place. Very physical comedian, I guess you could say, which is actually kind of remarkable considering he was quite overweight and but at the same time very athletic, apparently. I mean, he was on David Letterman doing cartwheels on live TV. And surprisingly, he actually does a lot of his own stunts in this movie, in Beverly Hills Ninja. First of all, it's a ridiculous concept. This is another Saturday Night Live, a vehicle for their comedians. You know, you had similar things with, like, Night at the Roxbury, Wayne's World, of course. We all remember the Wayne's World movies. It's Pat, remember that one? I think Beverly Hills Ninja did a little better than that, but who knows if it's a better movie, because I don't think I want to see that one. Of course, Chris Farley and David Spade starred in Tommy Boy, and they tried to repeat the success of that with Black Sheep. Then, for whatever reason, Chris Farley did Beverly Hills Ninja. And it was his last film. Of course, he tragically died of an overdose, I believe. You know, a lot of struggles with addiction, alcoholism, living that rock star life. It's also said that his career kind of paralleled John Belushi quite a bit, because both of them were quite, well, I guess you could say a little portly. They both struggled with addictions during their lifetime, and they both died of overdoses. And they both suspiciously died at the exact same age, at the age of 33. It was said somewhere that he was very disappointed in this movie. Maybe not so much in how it performed at the box office, because it actually opened at #1 in the box office and got a lot of people to go see this. Maybe he was just embarrassed at like how ridiculously bad this movie is. No disrespect to Chris Farley, but this movie just sucks so bad. The premise is absurd. It's a really fat white guy ends up in a monastery in Japan, and he's trained in the arts of ninja, but he's just a screw up. He's super clumsy and he's super dumb, but they believe that he's the chosen one or something from some stupid prophecy, and they just can't wait to get rid of him from this monastery, from this ninja dojo, because he's constantly screwing things up. He fails all the tests of his ninja skills, and there's a montage of him doing stupid stuff and falling over during like practice. And being Chris Farley and being about ninjas, you know there's going to be scenes in there, and there are, of him like, you know, using nunchucks and whacking himself in the nuts and hitting himself in the head and, you know, breaking shit all over the place and just hurting other people. Like, there's one of his, like, colleagues, played by Robin Shao, Liu Kang from the Mortal Kombat movie, who's an actual good ninja. Like, he's actually good at it. Chris Farley looks up to him as his big brother, but he keeps, like, hurting him. Yeah, you can imagine all the wacky hijinks in here. Chris Farley's by himself at the dojo, and he's got to watch the place. And he's visited by this hot blonde from America, who wants to hire a ninja to investigate, or her boyfriend, who she thinks is into some shady business. And she just wants to kind of keep an eye on him, and, you know, Chris Farley immediately falls in love with her. And, you know, wants to do whatever she says and whatever she asks of him. So, of course, that brings us to Beverly Hills. Now, before he leaves, Robin Shao is assigned to watch over him and, you know, stay in the shadows, but look out for your little brother, because he is probably still the chosen one, or even though he's a fucking idiot and can't do anything right. And yeah, so they go to America and they go to Beverly Hills, and there's, like, you know, scenes of Chris Farley in his ninja outfit, like, sneaking around or trying to sneak around, and, you know, this big fat guy trying to hide behind, like, pillars and things and swing a bunch of swords and stuff and use a grappling hook to comedic effect. And there's so much physical comedy in here. It's just overwhelming. It's too much, and it's just not funny. Like, it doesn't get a laugh out of me. I mean, I could go back and watch the Three Stooges, and Three Stooges is nothing but dumb shit, and they're whacking each other in the head, and, you know, hey, I'm wise guy and blah blah blah. And this whole movie is like, you get one stooge, you get Curly, but you got no Mo, you got no Larry, you got no other comedy. It's just him falling down and flopping around. And I will give Chris Farley some credit in here, though. He actually did train a little bit in some martial arts and some ninjutsu, and he does pull off some of the fight scenes, and he does a lot of his own stunts, which apparently the producers and the crew were really worried about, because they were worried he was going to kill himself doing all this stuff. You know, sadly, he would die not much later than this. But yeah, so he did a few of his own stunts, and that was a little bit impressive, but holy crap, not enough to save this movie. You also get Chris Rock in there. He has a very minor role. All he really does is drive the car, drive him around in Beverly Hills, and there's supposed to be like a friendship there, but it's so unconvincing and just doesn't qualify as a ninja movie. I mean, yeah, you get some ninja action in there. Nothing like you would see in the other ones that I've reviewed. But those actual good, like, martial arts duels and fights and stuff like that are so brief, because we got to focus on the comedy. We got to show Chris Farley working at a, what do you call those, the Benihana, Ichiban kind of restaurants where they have the big flat top grill, and he's got the two spatulas, and he's throwing shrimp around or whatever and throwing it down a lady's blouse, and then he burns his face on the grill. He fights some guy in the restaurant with two giant fish, swinging fish around, and that's supposed to be super hilarious, and it's just not funny. This movie was tedious to get through, and I actually felt quite embarrassed for Chris Farley, to be quite honest with you. Sorry, Chris. You know, like I said, no disrespect to Chris Farley, but I think I'm gonna have to give Beverly Hills Ninja an F. That's right, an F. Not even an F+. I mean, the fact that he did some of his own stunts was kind of impressive, but it still came off as embarrassing. It doesn't have any good jokes in there at all. As a matter of fact, it seems like this could have been a little raunchier. Like, there could have been more like sex types jokes and maybe some real edgier humor, but they dropped the ball on that too. I mean, I guess they wanted it to be funny for kids or something. Maybe he wanted to break into the family comedy market or something. I don't know, but it just does not work. It's terrible. I mean, I haven't seen them, but I'm assuming that Tommy Boy and Black Sheep are probably far superior movies to this. This movie is embarrassing not only to Chris Farley, but also to ninjas in general. It's a waste of time. Don't watch this movie. Beverly Hills Ninja 1997 gets an F. So, next ninja movie's guaranteed to be better than this, right? Well, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I do have this. 3 Ninjas. High Noon at Mega Mountain, starring everybody's favorite Hulk Hogan. Yeah, we'll give that one a watch. I think I'm gonna wait maybe like a year or so before I watch this piece of crap, because I know this is gonna be a piece of crap. But it might be better than Beverly Hills Ninja, you never know. So anyway, until the next movie review or next video in general, everybody out there, stay safe, be good to each other, and have a good one, everybody.